Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Allmark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today we are going to look at Let It Ride, which is an absolutely lovely lined drawn horses, and it's just a beautiful set. And I thought we would do something with the Stamparatus. The Stamparatus is probably one of the best positioning tools that you can buy. And that's what we're going to work with today. So we need a piece of, I'm using heavy whisper white cardstock, which measures 5 1/4 inches by 3.5 inches. So we can then mat it. And the grid paper is absolutely brilliant because you can line it up exactly where you want it very easily. So you can now get the grid paper in this smaller size. And as I say, it's just absolutely brilliant. So I have already mounted these images that we need. And we're using the horse image. And I've also cut out a stencil. Now, I cut this out of copy paper, so it is quite thin, because all we need it is to do a little bit of masking. So we're going to use a good black ink, and we are going to stamp up the horse image in the black ink, well, just the once. Okay, then we are going to stamp it down once. And lift it up. We're then going to take the hinge and we're going to move it down one step. And we're going to put the mask in over the horse. And we're not going to ink it up again. We are just going to stamp it straight down second time. So you have a second generation. Lift it up. We're then going to move the mask down one more time and again just cover it up and move the hinge down once again and stamp it. We're not inking up again because what we want to do is to give a horse in motion effect. So let's lift this mask up again and just line it up again over the image. Because it's quite a thin mask, you don't have to tape it down. And we're going to move it down once more. And the last time we are just going to ink it up like that. Okay, so that's the first part done. So let's take the mask out. You can reuse the masks several times, so I just keep it in the stamp case, and then we can have a look at the image. And what we've created is a horse running through from the background, getting fainter and fainter as it goes into the background. We are going to stamp the sentiment, so it's just going to be a one-layered card. And so I'm now rotating it so it's onto the landscape side. Again, lining up with the grid paper. And we are going to stamp the sentiment. So I've already lined that up, so I can just turn it round and we are going to stamp the sentiment just down at the bottom. So again, with a good black ink, just ink up the sentiment. And the nice thing is that you can stamp it several times to get as dark an image as you want. So I want this to be quite dark because obviously it's going over the image that's underneath. So we're just going to stamp this a few times. I might even do it 3 times just to make sure that it's as dark as I want it to. So stamp it through at the bottom, and that's done. Okay, so we can now take the image out because that's all we need to do with that. And I'm just going to put this just out of the way for now so that it's not in our work surface. So let's just pop that over there. I'm going to take a scrap of paper, which is literally just copy paper. I've got coloured because it's easier for you to be able to see it, and white, unfortunately, makes my lights do funny things. So okay, so that's our image now. Now what I want to do is to just do a very simple and quick wash. So I'm using our aqua painter, and I've chosen Mossy Meadow, and I've chosen crumb cake. So let's just get the crumb cake out, and what I'm going to do is take one of our, whoops, just move my glue out of the way, knocking everything over. I'm going to take our small block and literally just tap it onto the ink pad to pick up some colour. I want this to be quite wet, so I am going to add a drop of water from the aqua painter, because I want this to be literally just a very light wash. So the first image, we're literally just going to, and you can see it's quite wet, but with the heavy whisper white, that doesn't really matter. And we are literally just very quickly doing a wash through. So it doesn't have to be overly precise. You just want it to come down through onto where the feet are. So even if it comes a little bit off the side, it doesn't matter hugely, because it literally just is a wash, and it adds to that sort of watercolour feel. So just going to just take this in. It will dry fairly quickly, and as I say, because it is the heavy whisper white, it holds up to having a little bit of water. Now the second image, I don't want it to be as bright, so I'm not adding very much at all, and I'm literally just washing it over. And again, this time it's even more what I call loose, so just very quickly just going through and adding a touch of colour. And again, on this one, I can always take some of it off on the first image of the horse, so that I don't again have it very bright at all. And I literally just want to add just a hint. So again, I'm adding a little bit on the front one first, so that I've taken off some of the colour, and literally the last one is probably going to have very, very little on at all. It's literally just a little bit of a wash coming down, just to add a hint of colour to that. So that's all we're doing on that one. And then we need to just do the same with the grass, so the mossy meadow. And this time I've got a little pool in the well, which I'm going to use for this one. So again, I want it quite loose, so quite a lot of water in. And I'm going to start up at this end with the stronger colour, take it down through there so it's lighter, and then literally just define some of these little grassy element pieces that are coming up here. But again, quite sort of loose, and not using too much colour at all. So that is the image done. Then I would leave it to dry just for a few minutes. I obviously haven't got much time here now to do that. And then I would mount it on a piece of crumb cake as the background. So I'm just going to show you on this like that. A little bit of a snag on that piece. And then put it onto a base, or a white card base, so that it just literally goes on like that. And this is a very quick and easy way of doing a very dramatic looking card. Let's take that off on here. But gives you all of that beautiful definition and allows the image to be galloping along. So the sentiment, live as if someone left the gate open. The horse has literally just run through the gate and is running off into the distance. So I hope you like that, and do look forward to seeing you again. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.